This is WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Sam Dick has the night off. Here's what's trending right now. The family of 15-year-old Trinity Gay releasing a statement today about her death. The daughter of Lexington native and Olympian Tyson Gay died after a weekend shooting at a Lexington restaurant. Her family says they appreciate the outpouring of support during the loss of their beautiful Trinity. She will truly be missed by all. She touched so many people on so many different levels. The family is asking for continued prayers and privacy during this difficult time. That story is the most clicked on right now on WKYT.com, followed by the 3 people arrested in connection with Gay's killing. Also, 1 killed and 1 injured in 2 shootings this weekend in downtown Lexington. Here's what we're following right now at 6:30. Students at Lafayette High School in Lexington will come together tonight to remember their classmate. WKYT's Monique Blair talked to those who knew Trinity Gay. She'll also have the latest in the investigation. Police in Bullitt County say 3 men posed as police officers and robbed a couple in their home over the weekend. Police have made 1 arrest. Now they're looking for 2 other suspects. WKYT's Andrea Walker talks to the victims.
And it has holes in it. I've seen holes in the bridge that you could see all the way through it to the water before.
New concerns about the safety of Kennedy Mill Bridge. Find out how it could affect those traveling between Mercer and Garrett counties. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins me now. It doesn't feel like fall right now. It's just temperatures in the 80s. It's too hot.
Yeah, we're getting summer and we're getting fall combined. You're getting the fall colors out there, but the summer temperatures. So if you like this kind of, back and forth, I guess this is perfect for you, right?
But not for long, though, right?
Not for long. We're going to change it up in a big way coming up later this week. But in the short term, hey, it's all about the gusty winds and the warm temperatures out there. But look at the fall colors showing up at our WKYT weather garden that is out there across central and eastern Kentucky. Out back behind the station, those colors really exploding. And I would imagine the trees where you are looking similar to what we have out there now. And that sun getting lower and lower on that western horizon. Temperatures dropping from the low 80s into the 70s right now. But those gusty winds are coming at us close to 20 to 25 miles per hour. So what leaves have already fallen are going to be swirling around. Get the rakes ready over the next couple of days. Defender Radar Network have got nothing to talk about, though. Tomorrow at this time, sneaking suspicion we may try to fire up an isolated shower or a thunderstorm out there. Cold front is way off to our west. Out ahead of that, southerly to southwesterly winds. That's a warm flow, but behind that, you've got a big surge of some colder air already building up across parts of Canada into the Rockies. That's going to roll our way as we get into the day on Thursday, and the coldest air of the season coming in behind that. Now tomorrow, we're going to be flirting with records. Don't think we get there into the bluegrass region. And again, watch for some late day clouds or a shower or thunderstorm. That major fall cold front arrives later this week. It's going to do 2 things for us. It's going to give us our best chance of rain that we've had in some cases since late August in terms of widespread stuff. It's also going to give us the coldest air we've had so far this young fall. And Jennifer, when I come back here in about 10 minutes from now, we'll fire up the long-range hour-by-hour forecast to show you just how quickly those temperatures drop.
We'll see you then, Chris. Trinity Gay was a sophomore at Lafayette High School, her dad's alma mater. She was following in his footsteps as a rising track star. Today, her coach, principal, and a teacher talked about the school's devastating loss. A vigil is at 8 tonight at the school. WKYT's Monique Blair has our top story at 6:30.
The day began here at Lafayette High School with a moment of silence in honor and in remembrance of 15-year-old sophomore Trinity Gay's life. Trinity's high school track coach, one of her teachers, and her principal all spoke publicly today. They describe her as a leader, humble, the light of her mother's world, and the type of person who was destined to change the world. They say when she was in the classroom, she would always befriend the student who felt left out. And then on the track field, she would push her teammates to be the best they could be.
She would push everybody just to try harder, even when she felt like giving up.
She had goals in life. She wanted to be a surgeon. She wanted to give back to our community. And I think there's something to celebrate in that. We are proud of the legacy that she left, and we are just heartbroken that she's not in our building anymore.
Now you can see a memorial has already been set up here behind me outside the school's football field. The vigil tonight is expected to start right around 8 o'clock. It is open to the public and it is expected to serve as a time for Trinity's loved ones to grieve and reflect on her life in a safe and structured environment. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Principal Jacobs says police, the mayor's office, and other community leader partners have reached out to help provide support to the school. You can find more details about tonight's vigil at Lafayette and the latest on the investigation into Trinity Gay's killing on WKYT.com. The three men charged in connection with Gay's death faced a judge today. 21-year-old Devontae Middlebrooks, 38-year-old Cesare Taylor, and 19-year-old DeMarcio Taylor are all charged with wanton endangerment. Middlebrooks is also charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. All three pleaded not guilty to their charges. Lexington police are also searching for clues in another weekend shooting death. Police say a man died at UK Hospital after someone shot him in the Chase parking garage on Main Street early Sunday morning. The victim has been identified as 27-year-old James Augustus Blair. Police say someone dropped Blair off at the hospital after the shooting. Investigators have identified a person of interest, but so far no charges have been filed. A Bullitt County couple is recovering from a violent robbery. Police say men pretending to be police officers showed up at the couple's home and attacked them. Police arrested Joseph Patrick Keene. They're still searching for a second suspect. WKYT's Andrea Walker has the latest on the investigation.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Ed and Maureen Cundiff are cleaning up a mess at their Bullitt County home after being targeted by robbers early Sunday morning.
Somebody knocked on the door very, very loudly.
They said, "Open up, it's the police, we have a search warrant."
As soon as I opened it, they got their guns on our faces.
That's when two men claiming to be Louisville Metro police officers forced their way into their home.
I demanded to see the search warrant, and he didn't want to show it. And I tried to look at his name on his badge, and which it don't have none.
At that time, they started getting real indignant and cuffed us and took us back to the bathroom and locked us in the bathroom.
The two were in there for about an hour and a half, listening as the men ransacked their home, taking tools, electronics, $1,100 in cash, and their pickup truck. The two eventually escaped and called for help. Bullitt County deputies tracked the Cundiff's stolen car, being driven by 45-year-old Patrick Keene to I-65. Keene rammed a sheriff's cruiser before crashing into a cable barrier. The cruiser was then hit by a semi-truck, but thankfully the officer walked away with only minor injuries. Keene was arrested after being treated at a local hospital. As for the Cundiffs,
I'm just glad that we're okay. The other stuff, it can be replaced.
Andrea Walker, WKYT.
Police are still searching for the second suspect who got away in a different car. Right now, Keene is in the Bullitt County Detention Center. Another robbery this afternoon in Lexington involving a man wearing a clown mask. The Mr. Money on Winchester Road was hit just after 1. Police are trying to determine if it's connected to 4 similar robberies or if it's a copycat. Since yesterday morning, 4 gas stations have been robbed by a man wearing a clown mask. Police say the robber showed a gun in each of the gas station robberies. A Franklin County judge has ordered Governor Bevin to release nearly $18 million to state colleges and universities. The judge says the governor must release the money within 3 days. Earlier this year, the governor cut 2% from the budgets of colleges and universities without the state legislature's approval. Attorney General Andy Beshear then sued, saying the cuts were illegal. The state Supreme Court later ruled in Beshear's favor. New safety concerns about a 92-year-old bridge between Mercer and Garrett counties. WKYT's Miranda Combs joins us in less than 3 minutes to break down the news. And the Wildcats take on Mississippi State Saturday in Commonwealth Stadium. Dave Baker joins me later in the Sports Buzz with what Coach Mark Stoops has to say about the big game. Welcome back to WKYT News at 6:30 here on the CW Lexington. There are new concerns about the safety of the Kennedy Mill Bridge for Kentucky 152 between Mercer and Garrett counties. Viewers sent us these photos of metal hanging from the bridge, concerned the bridge is unsafe. The 92-year-old bridge reopened earlier this year after closing last year for repairs. The closure caused longer commutes for people who depend on the bridge. The Kentucky Department of Highways says the bridge is still safe and they're keeping a close eye on it.
Repairs are very common to a bridge that was built in 1924, and we're aware of that, and we always make sure that we are keeping up with any type of change that the bridge might have as far as with the deck or the braces or the truss.
Break down the news. Miranda Combs joins me now, and we have been doing stories about this bridge for a while.
Phil Pendleton's done a couple of them over the past year. You know, the bridge shut down for a while for repairs, and people were concerned because they were having to travel around the bridge, which was causing an extra 30 minutes on their commute. So it was a bother to a lot of people. So this time they're actually in the process of building a new bridge. They'll start that process in the spring, but they're trying to keep this old bridge open at the same time as well so that people don't get frustrated about that drive.
And these people are so upset. They've been sending you photos of the bridge. In fact, one has a brace hanging from it.
Right, and we went down to check, and sure enough, there are braces hanging there. And we talked to drivers down there, and they're concerned not only about driving across the bridge, but those boaters that are going under the bridge as well if those braces were to fall. But also the funny thing was that I mentioned at 6 that the other drivers there were like, don't put this on the news because we don't want you to close this bridge again. Like, we don't want it shut down because it's such a good thoroughfare for them to get through and get through faster.
So what is the state doing about it? Is it just kind of a wait and see?
Well, they see it. They noticed it back in August. They're monitoring this bridge very closely, which they say isn't uncommon for a bridge this old. But again, they still want to try to keep it open. They say obviously these braces hanging aren't a big deal, aren't hazardous to anyone, so it's okay. But it is a little bit startling to see those when you drive under it or past it.
Well, and a lot of people affected too, the people who need that bridge, but also the people who are concerned about the safety of it. Thank you, Miranda. And you can join the conversation by leaving your comments on WKYT.com or on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. Now let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, who's in the First Alert Weather Center. A nice day, Chris.
Yeah, it really is. I would imagine a lot of positive comments on the forecast being left at our Facebook page today. It's absolutely gorgeous out there. Fall colors are doing their thing, and it feels the part of summertime without the humidity. It's bone dry. We'll change it up, though, later this week. Here is a little look at your 9 live sky cams. We got more than this, but we throw 9 at a time on there for you. And that sunset getting earlier and earlier now, and that's a sign of the changing seasons. You can see the thermometers that update a little more often than others. Already mid to upper 70s showing up. That's where most thermometers are as of right now. And I'll look at the station, and we're at 78 degrees. So, yeah, we're dropping it into the upper 70s right now, most of central and eastern Kentucky. Defender Radar Network, nothing is out there. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll try to change that up a little bit. Strong southwesterly flow, cold front across the Plain States. That cold front will head our way. There's a chance tomorrow afternoon. It's a small threat, but an isolated shower or thunderstorm is a possibility. Temperature 80 to 85 degrees. Hour by hour forecast. Let's track tomorrow's slight chance for some rain. And this model is becoming a little more aggressive on at least a scattered thunderstorm or two into the afternoon and evening. And look what that does to the temperatures. Notice how you get a little more sunshine, you're low in mid 80s. You get a little more in the way of some clouds, you're stuck into the upper 70s. And a better shot for a shower tomorrow evening. I think that will increase on Wednesday afternoon and evening. This is a little too far north for my taste, a little underdone early in the day on Thursday, because it is during that time we're going to have a strong cold front that will be making its way toward the area. A potent little low pressure center that will wrap up and intensify across the Ohio Valley, then into parts of New England. Now, when that happens, should be a nice shot of some showers and some thunderstorms Thursday into Thursday night. Gusty winds. Coldest air of the season coming up as we go into Friday and Saturday. Very windy during that time period as well. I promised a long-range hour-by-hour breakdown of the temperatures. So we go into Wednesday. Can you pick out where that little front is across northern Kentucky? Low 80s to the south, low 70s to the north. And here we go into Thursday. Thursday afternoon, big temperature swing from west to east. Eastern Kentucky, I could see an 80 again on Thursday afternoon early. To the west, we're dropping it into the 50s at the same time that Eastern Kentucky is pushing close to 80. Then by Thursday evening, here comes that colder air. And look at Friday, upper 40s to low 50s. But watch the numbers here. From 8 a.m. until noon, they actually drop. Upper 40s showing up at noontime on Friday. 50 to 55 Friday, but look at this into eastern Kentucky. Temperatures into the afternoon may stay in the 40s on Friday. High school football fans, it is a cold one out there. Let's go into Saturday. Kiss of frost, mid and upper 30s. Saturday afternoon, low to mid 50s. heading out to Commonwealth Stadium Saturday evening. Hey, if you bought some new UK gear, got the new logo on it, and you've just been waiting for that colder weather to show it off, get after it this weekend. Saturday evening is going to be chilly out at Commonwealth Stadium, with temperatures dropping through the 40s during the game. That is my kind of football weather.
That is football weather. These temperatures are all over the map.
They really are. And keep in mind, where we are right now compared to where we're going to be for a high on Friday, about 30 degrees colder.
And I'm coughing because my allergies are so bad right now from these temperature swings.
You're cheering on a Frost, aren't you?
I am. Bring it on.
Come on, Frost.
Well, Kentucky is coming off a bye week and getting ready now for Mississippi State. Dave Baker gets UK fans ready for the Cats and Dogs next in the Sports Buzz. It's time now for the Sports Buzz with Dave Buzz Baker to get an inside look at what's going on. The Kentucky football team halfway through the season, tied for second in the SEC East. Who would have thought it 3 weeks ago?
Here's the deal. We've had a lot of must-win games so far this season.
And they've won them.
This is one of those games you want to win because it changes the whole conversation. The football Cats with some success, some momentum, and now some time to polish and heal up. The bye week is over, and Mark Stoops and the entire Kentucky staff excited as they get set to take on State.
The way we responded, let's just put it this way, I don't know if I want to put that label on it, but I'm proud of the way this team has responded. And you know what, they're a fun group to coach. They really have been. They've been fun to coach. You know, there's been a lot of frustrating pieces that we don't need to rehash. But the way they go about their business, the way they work, the way they care, they want to do well. And you heard me say that even after some difficult times.
Mark Stoops' news conference today, he jokingly said he's glad Dak Prescott is not on Mississippi State's team.
Because he was channeling me, right?
Yes,
he understands what I was going to talk about. And the reason is, as we take a look at Dak Prescott, we didn't give this guy nearly enough credit when he was at Mississippi State. What, a third or fourth round NFL selection? Tony Romo will never see the field again for the Cowboys.
You really think so?
Because of the way Dak Prescott has played. Romo's 35 years old. He's got about a $20 million contract. And you cannot take this guy off the field the way he's played. The Cowboys went in and rolled the Packers in Lambeau Field yesterday. There is no Dak Prescott in Starkville this year, and that's one of the big reasons I think the Cats have a huge chance on Saturday.
But he did throw his first pick yesterday.
He did, but he broke Tom Brady's record for most passes as a starter in the league without throwing a pick. All right, Karl Anthony Towns getting picked on a little bit. It's so wrong. He was here this weekend, but he was over in Louisville because the T-Wolves were playing at the Yum Dum Center over there. Towns had 16 points, 14 boards. T-Wolves over the Heat. Many thought he'd be in Lexington for Big Blue Madness. Instead, he was at the Louisville football game. Why? Because he was going to support Georgie Jang.
Yes.
He called Cal. I mean, this guy is special. He did the right thing, so people lay off of him.
Yes, that's exactly right. And you know what? I was at Madness. It was a fantastic show.
It was fantastic.
And so many former players there.
It wasn't as much of a show before. I mean, this is, you know, there's a lot of swag and all this stuff that goes on. I mean, this is business madness is what this was. This team is not going to be happy. Boy, I gave
Jared Polson.
I gave him some down the road last night. Michael Buffer was there. I mean, how big is that? That guy gets 25 to 50 grand a piece for doing that.
And we got him for $15,000. We got a discount.
It's Chris Bailey money is what it is. But anyway, they're not going to be happy with anything but winning a national championship.
Okay, here's a story that's gone viral today. Turns out, though, it's totally not true. On Anthony Davis's official Facebook page, it says, hey, Facebook fam, I'm looking for an assistant. Anybody want to help me out? It's been shared. It's gone viral. But here's the thing.
New Orleans Craigslist.
Yes. And I just talked to his mom. She said it's absolutely not true. He's not looking for an assistant. If he were, he would not go on Craigslist. She calls it craziness. So stop spreading it.
You've got to think before you retweet. And finally, here you go. Great story from down at Samford this weekend. Check this out. The Bulldogs, of course, that's where Martin Newton's the AD.
Right.
Okay, so linebacker Deion Perry had a surprise for that young lady, Jasmine Henderson. He proposed, and all these guys were singing whoever this Ed Sheeran guy is. Does Bill listen to him?
Thinking out loud.
He's not on the Bulls. Yeah, that's what he was. I've never heard it, but I guess the main thing is it went off without a hitch. They were playing it over the PA system. She said yes, and in the words of the immortal Reds announcer, Marty Brenneman,
oh, that's great.
Ain't love grand.
That's so romantic.
I'm about to tear up.
Thank you, Buzz. Ahead tonight on the CW Lexington, an hour of Family Feud is next. Then at 8, Supergirl, followed by Jane the Virgin at 9. Then over on WKYT, The Big Bang Theory at 8. Kevin Can Wait at 8:30. Then at 9 and 9:30, you get a double dose of Two Broke Girls, followed by The Odd Couple, Scorpion at 10, and WKYT News at 11. Finally, take a look at this. The grand opening for the new YMCA in Hamburg is right around the corner, but you can get a sneak peek now. The Whitaker Family YMCA opens October 31st. It features a state-of-the-art fitness center, a lap pool, a full-size gymnasium, and Pilates studio. YMCA officials say more than 1,400 people have already signed up for memberships.
Knowing that many individuals have signed up before they even walk through the front doors or you can even see the amenities in the programs, it speaks volumes to the need and what the YMCA represents for our community.
YMCA leaders say this project has been in development for nearly 10 years. It's so warm right now, you could have an outdoor pool. You'd swim outside right now.
For the day tomorrow.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, why not? 80s across the board today. Should be back there again tomorrow. It's a mainly dry day, 80 to 85 degrees. 87 is the record tomorrow afternoon in Lexington. I don't think we get there. Watch Thursday, gusty rain, showers, some thunderstorms, temperatures crash. And now we're talking football weather, Buzz. High school action Friday evening, 40s.
Yes.
40s again out at Commonwealth Stadium on Saturday evening. Both look mainly dry.
37 for some of those band competitions on Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's going to be cold.
Chicken noodle soup is what you drink to stay warm.
And it's going to be windy,
because there's no caffeine. Did you know that?
I didn't
that's
know
a good
that.
idea.
Deuce Williams, who played for the Giants, told me that. Big buckets of chicken noodle soup.
So I can sneak in a little flask of chicken noodle soup.
As long as it's just chicken noodle soup. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for WKYT News at 6:30. Our next newscast is tonight at 11 on WKYT.